Hey guys, I've had this episode in mind for a while now, and I know it is extra important right now as so many teachers and families are in this back to school season of life. If you're listening to this when it airs, it's middle of September, everybody's back to school. And while we've returned to our routines and our structure with like the coming of fall in a lot of ways, for many people, this means that your schedule is now jam packed and that in addition to having a jam packed schedule, you need to be focused and you need to have lasting energy to accomplish things, to learn, to teach, to take care of your family. So we're extra busy and we need extra fuel. Well, because you're extra busy, maybe you find that you are skipping meals or you're trying to grab things on the go, and that's probably not the best way to keep yourself fueled and feeling good. So here we enter what I like to call snack pairs. Let me share with you in this episode what these snack pairs are and how you can learn to pair some combos on your own in addition to some of my own favorites. Hey there. Welcome to Be Well with Steph, the podcast, the show for women who know that personal wellness can be an actively pursued goal and who are ready to tackle building healthier daily habits with a little bit of good humor, a little bit of grace, and a lot of coffee. I'm Steph Genko, your holistic nutrition coach and your host, and I'm here to help empower you to create and maintain a healthy lifestyle you love, a lifestyle that gives you the strength, energy, and confidence to go after your wildest dreams. Before I dive into talking about actual snack pairs, let's take a minute and think through a couple of scenarios. I want to see if you've experienced feeling like either of these ways. So let's imagine that you're at work and you have a quick afternoon break. So you're just trying to make a quick, healthy snack choice and you've packed an apple. So you grab your apple and it's refreshing. It feels energizing on the spot. You feel like it fills you up. You finish the apple and you go back to business, and about half hour later, you're hungry again. Ever experienced that? Okay, scenario two. On a different day, you're like, apples didn't cut it. I'm gonna try almonds. I know there's like more calories in almonds, so maybe if I eat those, I'll feel like, I'm a little more full or I have a little more energy. So you're there and you're munching away on your almonds. How many almonds does it take to fill you up? It certainly takes more than whatever's on the bag, the 12 or almonds or a quarter cup or whatever is suggested, right? You need way more almonds than that. So because you're hungry, you've probably lost count of how many you've eaten by now. Here's where we enter what I like to call snack pairs. And when we eat snack pairs, we plan to eat both of those things. We eat the apple and the almonds with great intention. And here's why. The apple gives us water. It gives us carbohydrates and fiber, gives us some of this natural sugar. It's bigger in volume and it takes time to eat. So the apple helps us to fill up right there on the spot. However, like we noticed before, we're hungry after we eat that because there aren't that many calories in apples. There's not a lot of lasting energy. That's why we pair those with nuts of some kind. Nuts are full of healthy fats and protein. They give us more energy that our body can use later because they have more calories. So by pairing those two foods together, the apple and the almonds, I'm full now and I get energy later too. The idea behind snack pairs is that we always think about intentionally pairing different nutrients together at the same time. And we look for partner foods, if you will, that include one that is more voluminous and full of water and fiber, and another one that is a little more denser in calories. So you can have some go-to snack pair ideas ready that take the guesswork out of what you're going to pack and how you're going to stay energized throughout your day. So, before I share what my snack pairs are, my favorite go-to ones, I have for you a quick invitation. If you're listening to this episode at the end of September, at the time that it airs, then I wanted to just quickly extend a special invitation to you. If you were to go to bewellwithsteph.com right now, you'll find at the top of the website a webinar event called Building Your Wellness Toolkit. On Instagram recently and with clients, we've been talking a lot about cravings and how a lot of times when we crave certain foods or we crave our more fun or comfort foods, it's connected to our emotions. We do need to handle our stress or anxiety or boredom or sadness in some sort of way, but we've come to realize that that solution is not always food. You need a different tool. Kind of like imagining if you were a carpenter, but the only tool that you had in your toolkit was a hammer. The hammer's not going to be right for every job, and it might actually end up doing a little bit of harm to your project, right? In the same way, the solution to everything that we feel is not necessarily food. And it's really important that we build more wellness tools into our toolkit that are right for the job so that when we're stressed, we have a tool to handle it. When we're anxious, we have a tool. When we're bored, we might have a different tool. And then when we're hungry or we need energy, we know that we can turn to the tool of food too. I really encourage you to visit the website, bewellwithsteph.com, and jump in to that webinar with us. It's $10. You don't have to be available on the date. The date is September 29th. It's a Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern time is when I'm going to do it live. And you can certainly join the conversation then. But just by registering for the webinar, you have the opportunity to get the emailed recording and you can rewatch it and rewatch it at your convenience as you work to build your own wellness toolkit. So I really hope that you join us there. It's time. I'm going to share with you 5 of my go-to snack pair ideas. They're all a little bit different. They all could be substituted for different things that you like better. Like if I say one vegetable or fruit and you like a different one or have a different one accessible, you can swap it out for that. This isn't an exact science by any means. It's just to give you an idea of how we might combine those two partner foods that offer our body different nutrients so we are full right now and we have energy a little bit later, okay? First one that I love is bell peppers and avocado or guacamole. I like the bell peppers because I think they scoop the dip a little bit easier. They're extra crunchy, and I've just never really been a baby carrots fan. It's not my go-to raw vegetable of choice. So I find that if I like peppers or broccoli is another really good one, raw dipped in avocado or guacamole, the raw vegetable is that water, that fiber, the volume that fills me up right now. And then the avocado is where I get the healthy fats that give me the energy later. Number 2, similar along those lines, cucumber and hummus or another kind of bean dip. I usually make my hummus myself just because I find it even easier and cheaper than buying it because I always have chickpeas on hand and I literally just throw some chickpeas in my Ninja cup that I make smoothies in. I throw the chickpeas in with some maybe lemon juice, salt, maybe tahini, garlic powder, onion powder, blend it all up, and it's done. I just usually have that on hand. And again, cucumbers are like a natural pairing. You get some of that Mediterranean flair. And the combination is that the cucumbers are the water and the fiber, the vitamins that fill us up on the spot, that satisfy us on the spot. The hummus with its more fiber, some protein, and especially with tahini or olive oil in there, the healthy fats, that's where I get the calories for later. Number 3, if you have more of a sweet tooth than a savory tooth, you might try out a fruit and nut pairing like the apple and almond before. But another one that I really love is walnuts and grapes. I don't know what it is about that pairing. It reminds me of like a Waldorf salad or something, but it's also really easy to eat on the go. The grapes fill us up, eat as many as you want, all that water. And then the walnuts with their really, really healthy fats and the omega-3s especially are just really good for you. Walnuts are like brain food, but they also provide denser calories. Calories are energy. If you have time and you're interested, walnuts are also really fun to make some sort of maybe oat bites or energy balls or protein balls, if you ever see those, where you might combine something like walnuts, some oatmeal, maybe a little maple syrup or dates or peanut butter. You combine them together in your food processor, roll them into balls and put them in the refrigerator. And then those make more, that's why they call them energy bites, not because there's some sort of miracle energy in them, but because calories give us energy and they're really dense, full of healthy fats and proteins. So those kind of energy ball, energy bite nut things are really awesome, but we don't want to eat like a whole bowl full of them. That's too much. It's an overload. We want to pair them with a water-rich fruit or vegetable. And I think grapes make an awesome pairing for that. Number 4, if you're really on the go and maybe munching on raw things isn't for you, I'm going to offer you a couple of ideas here. Make a quick smoothie. Doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to have fancy ingredients or even protein powder if you want. My go-to, if I'm looking for a snack pair to grab and drink while I'm doing something else, is usually a banana and soy milk and ice. All the factors are in there. And the banana provides more energy too. It's one of those denser fruits, more energy dense fruits. So the banana still has the natural sugar, carbohydrates, and fiber. The ice adds a little more water into that pairing. And then soy milk is rich in protein and a little bit of healthy fat. So you can get a lot of energy or mileage out of that. In the afternoon, sometimes I like to also throw in half a cup of coffee for a little bit of a kick. But that's a different kind of pair, right? Okay, last one, number 5. If you are not into these raw vegetable, raw fruit ideas, you prefer warm foods. Some people do. Sometimes I do too. I'm not always a huge raw vegetable fan, but sometimes I could munch on cold or reheated roasted vegetables all afternoon. So I might make a tray where I just throw in a bunch of broccoli. It can be frozen even if you want. Broccoli, cauliflower, baby carrots. Those are already cut and ready. Maybe I'll cut up a couple of sweet potatoes or something. Roast the whole tray of vegetables with the intention that those are going to be a snack. Those are going to be the more fibrous and vitamin-filled part of my snack pairing that I can eat in volume. And then I might pair that with tofu. I could dice tofu up into cubes and season it with whatever I want and roast it on the tray right alongside those vegetables. And then again, these things can be eaten cold or warmed up, but you're getting a combination of nutrients, a combination of flavors, and enough volume to fill you up on the spot. Pro tip, if you combine a couple of these snack pairings and you end up with 4, 5, or 6 items together, you make a snack box, and that is perfect for meals on the go. I would really love to have some roasted vegetables, tofu, a little bit of hummus on the side, some maybe extra walnuts and grapes tucked in there, and whole grain crackers. By putting those little components together and just thinking with intention, what kind of nutrients am I getting from these foods? And is it going to be enough to fill me up? I can really easily pull together an on-the-go snack box. The stuff I'm sharing with you here today is by no means rocket science. It's not. I didn't invent this, and it's nothing fancy, but it doesn't need to be fancy. It doesn't need to be complex to be effective. It just might take a little bit of forethought and maybe a little bit of willingness to try something new, a food you haven't tried or a pairing that you haven't tried before. So what do you think? Are you going to give this snack pair idea a go? Are there already snack pairs or partner foods that you love to eat together, like an apple and peanut butter kind of fan? Share with us. Go ahead and ask any questions. You can ask them in Instagram comments on this podcast posting there. You can share your own pick of a snack pair and tag me so that I can see it and share it with our community. Or you can always DM me and ask questions. I can't wait to see what you're snacking on. Thank you so much for listening to Be Well with Steph, the podcast. When there are a million things that you could be doing, I appreciate your choosing to hang out here. And I am proud of you for continuing to work on your own wellness journey. I invite you to head over to bewellwithsteph.com for the details from this episode, my blog, upcoming events, and lots of other resources. If you enjoyed today's show, I'd love to hear from you. I'm Be Well with Steph everywhere you like to hang out on social media, so come on over and say hi. Until next time, my friends, be well.